This is my friend Glen, and that's his KX 500. Today we are at Farley Castle because he's racing against a full field of modern 4-strokes. It's going to be a tough meeting for sure because the conditions are certainly not ideal for a big 500 2-stroke. But if any man can wrestle a KX 500 onto the podium, it's the flying Welshman, Glen Phillips. Here we are, world famous Farley Castle. The sun is out, we've got KX 500. What are you expecting today on this thing?
I've always liked this place, and it does suit the old smoker well.
How do you think it will compare against the motorbikes though?
Well, time will tell, won't it?
Yeah.
We'll find out in a bit.
Yeah, T-minus 5 minutes till practice, so we're going to get on track soon and see how this goes. So Glen's going to be wearing the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 today, and he's going to be really putting it through its paces. As you can see, it's hot, it's dry, and it's going to be dusty out there at Farley Castle today. And it's probably going to be the most extreme conditions that you could possibly use an action camera in. So let's see how this thing performs. And the best thing of all, Glen's going to be riding a KX 500. Let's do it. There's not many people I know that love racing, love a challenge, and love 2-strokes as much as Glen, so he's the perfect man for the job today. So Glen's got himself a good gate position here at Farley Castle. Let's see if he can make a good jump and start the weekend off right. Flag is up. The board is about to turn sideways. We are ready to go racing. Heads are down, revs are up. And disaster for Glen. Glen's got hung up in the gates there. He is dead last then. He's trying to kick that big 500 into life. As he watches the field disappear off into the dust, into the distance. Oh man. Things have just got seriously interesting here. Glen's got a lot of work to do now. As you can see, the conditions are properly dry, properly dusty. So Glen's going to have to be careful as he picks his way through the pack. Glen has reached the back end of the pack and he's already making passes. Up to the famous Farley Castle steps. Glen is making quick work of these riders at the back of the pack. He's already made 10 passes, 11 passes now. Glen comes into the open once more. You can really let the big green machine feed up these hills. Another 2 passes made there, nicely done. But just look how dusty it is. Glen's got to really be careful as he picks his way through the pack. It can be very easy to make mistakes out there or get caught in someone else's mistake when it's like this. This bike was born to tear up and down these hills here at the Field of Dreams. Drag race up the hill, another pass made for Glen. Out dragging the 4-strokes up the main hill here at Farley Castle. Oh, but look at that. Glen misses the berm there. Couldn't quite see where it was through the dust, but didn't slow him down too much. As lap 2 begins, Glen has made just about 20 passes in one lap. That is some going. That's impressive stuff. And just shredding around the outside of the dust berm there to make the pass into 10th position. He's inside the top 10 now. Cooking the brakes, you can hear them. But that's Glen Phillips for you. He's tried to go around the outside of the 121 here. Oh, and that has not paid off for Glen. He's on the outside of the track here. And he's going to have to try and slow down to find a place back in. Oh, disastrous for Glen. Absolutely disastrous. He's not actually lost too many positions on track, but the time that he's lost to the front runners, well, that was a costly mistake for Glen. His first lap was so efficient and so effective, and he's just undone a whole load of work there. The climb begins once more. Glen's got the 145 of Grace Richards ahead of him here. As they come out into the main field, Grace rails the outside dust berm. Slight mistake on the exit of the corner allows Glen to power up the hill to move into 11th position. Oh, and this lap is going from bad to worse for Glen. He pops over the dust berm there. He's off the track, losing more time. Oh man, this has not been a good start to the moto for Glen then. He is not going to be happy underneath that helmet. But he's back on the gas, trying to claw back the time that he's lost. These conditions are certainly not ideal for the big two-stroke out there. Around the outside of the 615, that's Nick Davies. So Glen's back into 10th position. This is about where he was when things went wrong the last lap around. So he's lost a whole lap of progress essentially here. He descends the Farley Castle steps behind the 121. That's Tyson, Matum, Jones. And Glen's early on the gas, out of there, makes a pass on Jones' stick. And he's got his next victim already in his sights. That's the Kawasaki of Clayton Hogg. So Kawasaki 2-stroke versus Kawasaki 4-stroke here. As we're halfway through the race now, about halfway through the moto. Glen's still trying to climb through the pack as fast as he can. Just how high can he climb? That's another position there. That's 8th position for Glen now. The charge continues. The fight through the pack continues. How high can he climb? That's what's left to see in this moto. We've got just over 3 laps left in this one. And Glen is still charging hard on board the big green machine. Up next to Glen is the 133. That's Lee Larkin. And as they head into the woods then, I think Glen can sniff a pass here. He's closing the gap quickly to the 7th place man, Mr. Larkin. Oh, a slight mistake from Lee there. Opens the door for Glen. And he pounces. So they head up to the plateau at Farley Castle before the steps. Almost in the top 6. What a comeback this has been for Mr. Phillips here. The next rider in his sights as he rails around the outside and drag races up the hill. And he completely out-drags the 4-stroke up the hill. There's no match for the legs of that KX 500. So Glen moves into 6th, and he already has the 5th place man in his sights. Around the outside goes Glen, so he's into the top 5 now. What a fight, what a comeback, or what a ride from Glen on board the KX 500. He's making this look a lot easier than it is, that's for sure. Tailing one of these beasts is no mean feat. We've got 2 battling KTMs there, the 102 of Alan Jones and the 208 of Lee Martin. That's 3rd and 4th position. You can see the gap back to Glen. It's quite sizable. Here comes Glen. We're on lap 5 of 6 now. That gap just might be too much for Glen to try and close before this one is over. This might be as high as he can climb in the first moto of the weekend. But what a comeback it's been, battling the dust, battling the conditions, battling through the pack to claw his way into a top 5 position. We're on the final lap now. It looks like Glen has settled for 5th place. I'm sure he can't wait for this one to be over. He can't wait to get out of the dust, get some clean air in his lungs and regroup ready for the 2nd moto. But fair play, Glen. After such a disastrous start, that was one hell of a race. Across the line he goes, 5th position, the first moto of the weekend.
Tell us what happened.
Clutch, come straight to that. Sorry.
Glen, tell us what happened again.
You've got to be laughing now. 15-second board went up, put it in gear. 5-second board went to go, and the clutch decided to just bog off. So I ended up on the front brake, clutch to the bars, in the gate, and then on the grid it just spun me around the circle. So I had to get off the bike, pull it out, put it in neutral, start it, get going, come through, and when I got caught the other side of the ropes here and couldn't get out. It's so dusty you can't see a thing out there, to be honest with you, so I wasn't taking any chances, but I think if we gate with them we can still beat them, no problem. I don't think that's much of an issue.
Bring on race 2. Bring on race 2.
Yeah, without a doubt. We're going to chuck a new clutch in there now and hopefully they'll cure with it and see how we go from there.
And that's the end of day 1 at Farley, which gave the track crew time to water the circuit heavily, and it gave Glen and Rob the chance to work on the Quacker as well. And it also gives me the time to tell you guys about our awesome channel sponsors, Pewterline Motorcycle Oils. I've been using Pewterline oil in my bikes since I started racing over 20 years ago. From oil and lubricants to cleaning products, they've got you covered. With their own manufacturing plant, they lead the way with the highest quality products and constant evolution. Make sure you head over to their website where you can put the details of your bike into their product recommendation section, and it will tell you which is the best oil for your bike. We are lining up for race 2 then. The track crew have worked on the circuit overnight and conditions are going to be a lot better for this moto. The first race on Sunday morning. And Glen's got out of the gates this time. A much better jump for the Welshman on board the KX 500. Emerges around the first turn in 5th position. For those of you wondering, were they able to get that clutch fixed? No, Glen's gone on his spare bike in this one. Look how much better the track looks today. Let's go racing, we're up for it this time. Glen's in a much better spot. This is where he finished in the first race. This is where he's able to climb up to. And now he starts in 5th. Trying to make a move around the 2:08 machine. That's Martin there. Some loud 4-strokes out there, that's for sure. A nice move around the outside for Glen. Puts him into 4th position as they descend the steps. Glen's got another 2-stroke ahead of him there, but not for long, baby. No, Glen's attacks are getting fended off by Alan Jones there. But finally, Glen makes the pass stick. He's into 3rd place now and chasing the 125 of Carl Stannard. Meanwhile, at the front of the pack, Andy Wilson has disappeared at the moment. He grabbed a big hole shot and has not looked back. Glen's eating a whole load of roost here. He's going to want to make a pass on Stannard as quickly as he can. Glen's trying to keep out of the deep dust berms by the looks of things. Trying to find some smooth lines as lap 1 comes to an end. Another face full of roost for Glen. He is not going to be happy about that. He's certainly not going to be happy about watching Andy Wilson disappear at the front of the pack. Frustrations are maybe setting in here for Glen. He needs to make this pass quick if he wants to have a hope of battling for the race win. And like a bowling ball, Glen comes rolling on through, shouting and hollering his way past Stannard, Carl Stannard, to take over 2nd position then, using every trick in the book. This is the vet, Glen Phillips. He's into 2nd now and the race is on. Can he close the gap to the race leader, Andy Wilson? Let's see. Glen's certainly pushing it on board the big green machine. Track conditions are going to be a lot more favourable for the 2-stroke compared to race 1 yesterday. But Wilson, he was able to open up a big gap in those early laps. But can Glen close the gap as lap 3 begins? There goes Wilson, the race leader. And as you can see, he's got a nice, comfortable, sizable gap over the 2nd place man, Glen Phillips. Here comes Glen around the mechanic's turn and on the gas down towards the woods. That Kawasaki is singing out there right now. But Wilson, he's just keeping things smooth and consistent and keeping this gap stable. Glen hasn't been able to really make a dent in the race leader Wilson. So as lap 5 comes to an end, it looks like Glen is going to have to settle for second position in this one. Still a great ride from Glen on board the big 500. Definitely not an easy machine to tame around a rough and rugged Farleigh Castle. Here comes the race leader Wilson for the final time around the big horseshoe loop at Farleigh Castle. Running away to take the win there. And then here comes Glen. A completely respectable ride on board the two-stroke in second position. But if I know Glen, he really wants that top spot. So he's going to regroup for the third and final race to see if he can put the Kawasaki on the top step.
Yeah, not a bad race then. Didn't have a very good start. Got into second. Got a couple of quick laps in, but then lost the rear brake, so just sort of chilled out and finished the race. Hopefully now next one get a better start and be able to go with them.
It's time for the third and final race of the weekend then. Glen is lining up with a different camera on board his head this time. That's the Insta360 X5. The 360 camera, we're using that for a bit of a different view. In this one, we should get some interesting shots, that's for sure. Here we go then, the revs are up, the heads are down, and the gates have dropped. A decent jump for Glen, he's got the inside line, and he exits the first turn in about 4th or 5th position, is he there? Bit of carnage on the first straight. But 1, 2, 3, 4th place for Glen. Around the outside, he's still 3rd. So it's a better start for Phillips this time. He's got the 2:08 of Martin ahead of him. And Andy Wilson leads once again. Glen's into second now around Martin. So the race is on between Andy Wilson and Glen Phillips. 2-stroke versus 4-stroke. Let's go. Wilson's already been able to open up a decent gap early on lap 1 as they exit the woods. He's got a good few bike lengths over Glen, but can Glen battle back to bring the fight to Wilson? Oh, that was sick from Glen, railing the outside dust berm. You can see the track is mega dusty once again, so that's not going to be ideal for Glen, who sits in second place. And Wilson, he's ever so slightly gapping Glen. There doesn't seem to be a lot that Glen can do about the 4-stroke today then, as lap 2 comes to a close. Glen is still fighting hard, but the race leader is just slipping away bit by bit, lap after lap. We're on to lap 4 now. Here comes Glen down the hill, railing the outside. Whoa, he's caught up in the posts. That was close. Got a post following him up the track there, but he comes away unscathed somehow. So Glen's about to take the last lap flag, and it looks like once again he's going to have to settle for second position, which I know he'll be frustrated with. But we know how hard he's fought today. We've seen it, we've watched it, we've enjoyed it. Glen's doing it for the 2-stroke fans here today, this weekend, on board the KX500. He's put on a show for us, and we have to thank him for that. His weekend could have been a lot easier if he would have just rolled out on his KX 450, but Glen loves a challenge, like I said at the start of the video. He loves a good race and he loves his two strokes, and that's why he's done this. It's all for the challenge, it's all for the racing, it's all for the love of two strokes. Fair play, Glen. He's going to roll back to the pits, regroup, and do it all over again next weekend, and the weekend after, and the weekend after, and the weekend after that. Thanks for watching, guys. My name's Max. This has been 999 Laser. Until next time, we'll see you at the track.